Hi guys, welcome to yet another episode of the Amiga Raytracing course. This is episode 24 and I am Muadib. Today we're going to be building, modeling and surfacing some planets, and there are some quite interesting concepts when we are doing that. So actually, there are two ways of doing that. We can either take existing textures, or we can use the procedurals that Lightwave comes with, or we can use both of these methods. Oh, hello, Walker. Welcome. So first of all, I'm going to show you some a couple of websites that I found that can be handy when you wish to download textures from our solar system. So let me just bring up the browser here. So the first one, actually both of them are located here and here. 1 minute, please. Yeah, here. So there you have, and then you want to see this. So the first one is called JHD's Planetary Pixel Emporium. So you can see here on top planet pixel. Let me enhance it for you. Let me magnify that. So there. So planetpixelemporium.com. They here they are providing some textures. Actually, they are free, and also you can also see here on solarsystemscope.com, and then you go into textures, and they have textures in two different resolutions, 2K and 8K. So you have Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the rings of Saturn, and Earth has a special department. When you have different, you have Earth during the day, Earth during the night, Earth clouds, Earth normal map. That cannot, we can't use that because Lightwave 5 doesn't have normal maps, yes, and the specular map. Yeah, then you have the moon, the sun, stars and Milky Way, etc. Yeah, and you can do different, you can mix actual textures with with the procedurals, and we are going to go through that at once. Okay. Now let's see, where was I? Here, and then yes, there. Let me redo my working environment here. Anyway, where we're going to I'm going to show you first an animation I made about planets. So here's Earth. This is a texture of I think it was 10K resolution, and what we have here is the ground, the clouds that are a bit above the ground, and if you can see, they are casting shadow to the ground as well. And there's a texture map, and then there is the rest of the atmosphere that is not visible in this animation. This is what we are going to be looking at today. And then you have, you know, I did some examples of using only procedurals, only Lightwave procedurals for these three guys here. Okay, so this is also what we are going to be looking at. And then we will try to combine these two methods so that we create something, you know, original. Now in Lightwave, first we're going to be needing objects to dress. Of equal importance is the scale of our objects, because we might just want, you know, just a sphere that won't have any other object, or, you know, the object is not going to be moving. But if we are doing an animation, then we might want to consider how far the planet is going to be, so that it won't affect our animation. So just let's say I'm doing 1 megameter. Sorry, megameter. 1 megameter. 1 megameter. And it's important to remember it, because the textures are going to be based on these numbers, because, you know, our planet is going to be of an you know, specific size, so that it's going to be dressed with our surfaces. So here we are. This planet, this sphere is kind of rough for our uses. So I'm going to be redoing that with a bit more detail. So the sides and the segments here are too low. Now this is dependent on the resolution we want to be using our planet. If it is, say, low resolution, then perhaps a 32 by 16 will be okay. And it also depends on how close we are going to be placing our camera, because these faces here, even if we press on smooth under surfaces, is going to be these are going to be visible on the planet's profile. Okay. So let me go one step further and do a 64 by 32, and then okay, that's okay. So this will be my planet. I think this is adequate for medium resolution, you know. We don't want to get too close with the camera, but we can, you know, this is adequate. So Q, surfacing it, let's say Earth. We're going to be starting with Earth and saving that with objects. I'm calling it my Earth, so that's why I want to overwrite other guys up there. Okay, now we did the surface. We know now, and you know, if I want to model any planet with atmosphere, I need to model the atmosphere as well. So if I remember correctly, yeah, the troposphere is somewhat like 3 kilometers, 10 kilometers perhaps. Yeah, anyway, I'm going here. I want to have the profile of my planet. I'm switching the layer, and pressing, and I want layer 1 on the background. Okay, so now I will be creating one more ball, one more sphere with the same settings. Okay, enter. Now I have exactly the same sphere, but I want it a bit larger so that it will be able to accept the clouds layer. So let me resize that by capital H and then numeric by N, and let me resize that into 1.01 and see how there. And then let's measure that with Control Q. This is the 10 kilometers, yes. Hold on, the troposphere, I think. Yeah, let's leave it there. Okay, so there, and Q, and resurface that, surface that as Earth clouds. Okay, there, and then I can add one layer more there, and I can have these guys here. That will be even further. There, enter to make that capital H and N 1.03, or perhaps a bit more. Undo, numeric 1.05. There, and we are calling that atmosphere. Atmosphere. Okay, and let's see now. For starters, we can copy paste all of these into the same into the same object. So yeah, since we have them surfaced as separate surfaces, we can if we see any kind of difficulty into manipulating them, we can split them later. Okay, so I am taking the second and the third layer using Shift. I'm doing Shift 2, Shift 3, X for cutting, and going to the first layer, and V for pasting. Now I'm saving with Shift S, and I having my Earth there. Okay, now I'm going to layout object, and I'm loading the object. As you may notice later, actually I can show you right now before we surface the object as Earth. We can actually see, here it is. We can actually surface it first as another, as a generic alien planet with atmosphere. Okay, so let's see now. First of all, let us fix the atmosphere, the atmospheric transparency, and the clouds. Okay, what I'm going to do first is I am going to click on edge transparency, and I want that to be 0.5, say. Okay, so pressing S is going to show me there. Damn. There, yes, I locked it. I managed to lock it. So here you can see that by defining edge transparency as transparent and having it 0.5, for example, it leaves some kind of a kind of halo on the edges. Okay, so that's what we want from these two layers, and the cloud layer as well, 0.5. Let's say, let's start with these values and see what happens. So there is a kind of halo here. It's too near the planet, maybe we should resize them, but it is there. Okay. Actually, let me resize that. I'm going back to modeler and new. Hold on a bit. Layout first. Save all objects. There. Then going to modeler. Import. There. Then I'm switching to polygon mode with space W, and I am choosing first the atmosphere and pressing plus here. So now I have selected only the atmosphere layer. Okay, and Shift H for sizing and numeric, and let's go with that. Yeah, there. Okay, and now I want to do the same to my clouds layer. There. And Shift H, numeric. No, too much. Numeric 0.3 maybe. Yeah. Anyway, I'll fix that. And export as my Earth. There. Now this is back. Let us save all objects so that our changes won't be lost. And now, yeah, now I have some cool layers there. The second step is smoothing them out, smoothing all the layers, because they look looking better, you know. See here, there, nice. And now it's time to start, you know, doing stuff. Let's say I can have a brown planet, perhaps a rocky planet. Let's say brown, perhaps this, and then surface it a bit with fractal noise, perhaps. As we said, we had quite large size, so let's go with 100,000 per dimension. Okay, and let's see what we did now. There, nothing is visible, but anyway, let's fix the clouds. Let's keep them at 100% so that we can work on the surface. Yeah, there. Okay, so this is our surface. Not too pretty, but this is our beginning. So we are starting to you know, building it up. This is actually a textures thing. Anyway, let us minimize that. There, perhaps. Anyway, hold on a bit. Let me just put that there. There, okay. Contrast 0.5. Minimize that. There. Let's say this is okay. Now we want to we keep adding textures, so this will be 25, 36, 32, something like that, and then put some green perhaps. I don't know if it will work, but we are trying anyway. This green, this type of green. There. And let's say, let's hold on there, perhaps. Yes, something like that. And then we want, let's say I don't want it to go all the way to the poles. So I will start playing with my fall off, my Y fall off, which is the height fall off. So let's start by 1 and see what that can do. Well, it disappeared it completely. So let's say 0.002. there. So you can see a small stripe in the equator. So I'm going to increase it quite a bit. Now I have, you know, something here. Okay. It's not too powerful a feature, but if you combine it with, say, if you paint a landscape, you know, you can add pretty interesting features. So the combination of these two methods works great. And I can also let me 0.1 perhaps. Yeah, something like that. And then you can add, for example, ice on the polar caps. For ice, you need to know the radius. You need to remember the radius of the sphere. So it was 1 megameter. So let's choose fractal noise again. The texture center, let's put it in 1 megameter plus, and then that will be white, for example. Okay, texture size, let's say for example, let's see what we did. So there is white everywhere now, but let us do a fall off point to see what we did. So now we start having ice on our North Pole, for example, and we can do it. We can have it actually. Hold a minute. Let me do frequencies to 6 to have more of a there, and 3 contrast to 3 there, perhaps, or something like this. And you can start adding layer upon layer. You can also add another snow layer, for example, in the same location with hold on a minute, let me see what I have. Yeah, maybe wait a minute, 100,000. This will be smaller. So the first layer is going to have a smaller grain, for example. Oops, wrong. There. No. Let me disable that for a minute and work on the first one. The first one is this. Okay. I have 100,000 and my texture center is 1 million. Now the next one going to be 122 100 there, and the center is going to be 1 million there. Now I'm going to be playing with fall off so that it will do a thicker ice cap the more we go to the equator, and leave the other have this layer. I want it to end sooner than the other ice layer, so I am going to be playing with fall off here. So let's start with that. Let me also change this actually so that it won't sit on the same thing, on the same place, and do that. So maybe that is not suited for our needs, so maybe we can change into grid. Grid is very useful in that if you have grid is very useful when you want to have gradients on a surface. As you might remember from our from a previous texturing lesson. If you put line thickness to 1 or greater, okay, then you will have a gradient instead for a grid, you know. So let's see if that is the case here. So texture fall off, maybe texture fall off is too little a bit. Let us disable that. See what's going on here. Now we have the grid. Texture center is here, maybe in there. As that. No, it doesn't want that. No. Ah, there. Well, text opacity. So yeah, that's where we were. There. Texture opacity is 100. Yes. Now the texture is visible. Let's say 2. No, nothing. Sorry. Fall off again. There. Now we have a nice start, but I want that to disappear sooner, so I will increase that. There. So now I have a polar cap that is thick here. Right, maybe there. And you know, it's starting getting, you know, yes, it's melting. So I hope that makes sense with fall off. Okay, with fall off, the more the bigger the value, the sooner the texture disappears. Okay. And we can also remove a bit of the snow in the lower cap there. Okay. Now this is this is my ground layer. Now the atmosphere, this is a different thing. So what we want to do, if we are going to be doing procedures only, I want transparency to be there, but I want transparency where you know, I want to create clouds. So the clouds are going to be visible, let's say 0%. Frequencies are going to be 6, and let's say 0.9 here. Let's remove that a bit, and let's do a 35,000 for every there. Texture velocity we can play with if we want an animation, but yeah, we have to be careful not to look too out of this world. Or we can add another layer. And let's see what we did so far. Hold on a bit. This is anyway transparency. Then we want something bigger. No, sorry. Perhaps we can play with that as well. So something like this. Then we can exaggerate, and yeah, let's say 8 here, 8 here. Something. No, it wasn't too there. Perhaps 180, etc. Sorry. Yeah. So it starts to show a bit. So yeah, and then you work with the opacity to make things, you know, as much as you can use this procedural system. And in the end, oh no, that was the clouds. Anyway, I'm going to be copying, pasting it, saving it to this here, and clouding to minute. Earth clouds, a lot surface, this one. Now we have the clouds and the atmosphere. Let's remove that. There. So now the atmosphere for the outer layer. Let's see what we can do. We can remove that. We can have it something like here. There. And now this adds the halo. Okay. And if your camera now is going to be moving a lot, going to be moving a lot towards the planet, then you need subdivisions of all these textures. Okay, so that there is going to be a lot of more detail, etc. Okay, so this is about let's say the procedural textured planets, so that you can have in the background somewhere. So let me save that as my atmospheric planet. Yeah. So now let's see what. Hold on. Yeah. Let me now replace that with my Earth. So now let's go and see by downloading some of these textures how we can create our Earth. Okay, so under images we are loading our images. I have placed them here for you guys to play with later. Webcast episode 24 images. So depending on how close your Earth is coming to the camera, then you want to have either low to medium resolution texture or high to very high, for example. Okay, so let's start with the low with a 2K resolution. Okay, we have the day map here. You can see this is 2048 by 1024. Then we load our clouds, Earth clouds, JPEG. There. What else do we have? We have the specular map. We're going to be needing it for the seas. And we have set clouds, day map, and specular. Yeah. Okay. So let's go and dress our Earth. First of all, we have the Earth here, smoothing, and we go into color, and we want a spherical image map, of course, day map, y-axis as usual, and we leave everything else as it is. Okay. We can also use a bump map if we have one. Let me think now. Do I have any? I think I had a bump map, but it was. I think it was 8K. Yeah, I have a 10K bump map. Or an 8K bump map. So that is that has the information when you need to have elevation. So okay, let me use that 8K Earth bump map. So as you can see, you need a lot of memory to load big textures. For example, this bump map is 8192 by 4096, and it just cost me 100 megabytes from my system's memory. Okay, so you would want to have an emulation that is like having half a gigabyte just to be certain that these are going to be loaded. Anyway, back to our surfacing. Now we have the specular level. We want the seas to be specular, but only the seas. So we are going to be choosing a spherical image map, specular map, and this is correct. The white is going to be full specular and the black is going to be matte, let's say. So this is correct. Let's put the glossiness at high. Then we want the bump map that we loaded before, just now, for example. Let's say there. Texture amplitude, let's leave it at 50%. Okay, pixel blending. And let's save that. And go on to the other layers. Earth clouds. Okay, now we have the cloud layer. The cloud layer is mostly white and black, so we are going to let's change the surface color to 255. Oops, sorry. And 255. And then we are going to be placing our cloud map in the transparency texture. So here, clouds. Okay. Pixel blending, texture anti-aliasing. I think that would do that. That would do it. Smoothing again. Let's see if I did. I press smooth for Earth, and then Earth atmosphere. Then this is the outer layer. We want only the halo here. Okay. So let's put transparency at 90%. And see how that will fare. Diffuse level, yeah, we leave diffuse level at 100%, and then we want this. We want it to have a bluish, atmospheric bluish, say here, color. Okay, there, for example. Let's see. Yep. Let me turn off my night light here. There. So yeah, anyway, so let's go and see what we did. Are you ready? Let's render that. Okay, here's our Earth. This is our cloud layer, the dense, and now I have the halo here, but it's too much cloud. But anyway, let's see here. So let's move my camera there. And see what is going to be. Too cloudy this time of day, but we can regulate that as well. The clouds here, and I want to, let's say, let's minimize that into 60%. Gets crazier. Yeah, that is why. Yes. Transparency to 100. Exactly. Oh, sorry. Hi guys. Hi Anthony. Amiga Ireland. Walkero, we already said hi. Anyway, this layer is not what we want. So let's see if we made a mistake in our calculations here. So if the texture opacity is 100, okay, then we have the information here that the white is, wait a minute, the white should be opaque and the black should be transparent. But Lightwave sees that wherever is white, the more transparent or the more is the the attribute we have loaded our texture to will be. So I should press here and see if I have it, if I thought about that correctly. There, that's more of a, yeah, of course. Otherwise it should be like nuclear winter, no sunlight, no sunlight at all. So this is this is how you can have a you can create a planet, for example. Now I'm going to show you. We have some time, perhaps. Yeah. Let's see now if I have there. Let me zoom out a bit, take the camera here, perhaps, and see how the light is being distributed here. Let's fix the lighting a bit. So in space, you don't have ambience. And also, you should have these guys on for every other texture. So this is a sharp terminator. It terminates the light side from the dark side more abruptly. Okay, it doesn't go gray. It doesn't fade out smoothly. So let's see if that corrected things. Yeah, and it did. See here. So now we are going to be placing the we will attempt to have a texture even on the dark side of the Earth by having night lighting, from the cities and all the artificial lighting going on. Let's see if we are going to make it. So first of all, I want my light to be more, there. I want my light to be more towards the edge there. Okay, so I have half of Africa here, and only Europe is at daytime. And let's see here now. I would like to load my night map Earth. This is night map. This is Earth night map. What? Anyway, and let me see now. I want that to be loaded on color. Okay, are you with me? On color, spherical image map. I have the night map here, etc. We leave everything as it is. And as the luminosity, because on the dark side you need to be your own light if you want to be illuminated, so you are going to be self-illuminating. Let me think now here. Wherever there's white, the texture is not that much. The preview here is not much of a helper here, but let's see now. Wherever there's light, I want it to be visible. So white will be 100% of luminosity. So that is correct. Okay. So we leave it at that. Now, if I render it now, there won't be any, so this is during daytime, but it's it's nighttime, and there's nothing here. So let me, so what I need now is I need here an alpha image for each layer that I want to be visible and not. So by doing that, we are saving all objects here, and let's quit to save some memory. I have to remind myself to create a new Amiga instance with 8 megabytes of chip RAM. And go to Brilliance, True Brilliance, yes. And what I need first, I will need to create a new range. Clear. There. I'm taking now a white here, and let's take a black over here. Let's show that to see how, yeah, that could be okay. And now I need to create my transition, let's say, from one layer to the other. Okay, so this is a 640 by 512. So let me, there. No, I need the coordinates actually. So I have the coordinates here showing. What I need to start at 1/3. Let's say 1/3 of 640 is 210 or something, 213, I think. So 213 and end at 426. Okay, let me take that away. I want to be solid there, something like this. So 426 is here, so let me correct that. 426. No, wait a minute. Let's do a test. There. And I'm deleting that. Continuing here. Okay. So now I'm going to be creating the transition, which is range here. I'm choosing range, and now let's say no. I will choose here linear. I think yes. That's the tool I need. And now, yeah, but let me choose a bright color so that we are going to be seeing what we are doing. There. Okay. So let's say something like this. And towards this side, perhaps. Yes, correct. And here, I'm guessing actually, there, and towards this side. Yep, undo, because I think there's some. Anyway, let's that might do. And let's save that as 24-bit volumes. Let's find our and say day-night transition. Okay. .iff, of course. There. Quit that. Go to Lightwave and load our object. There wasn't any scene yet, so not a problem. Object my Earth. Now it's loading all those big textures actually. Now let's see what we are doing and if we are doing it correctly. Let's think about that. 24 images, day-night transition here. So perhaps that should be actually that should be 2/4, not 1/3. Yeah, 2/4. So we need half of the transition. Half of the Earth is going to be in daylight, and half of it is going to be in nighttime. But we will correct that later. No worries. Yes, let's go first into our color. Yeah, the color texture here, the day map, and create a transition here. Okay, so what does that say? It says that when there is white, this layer is going to be visible. Okay, do you remember from earlier episodes? Now by clicking the next texture, now I have the night map. I am choosing the same thing again, but I am pressing negative alpha. So that will be white now, and that will be black. Okay, and may the Amiga gods help us that we did the correct thing. Let's see what we did. Yeah, I should have saved this scene anyway. And Sharp Terminator, I have everything here. Let me do that now. Save a webcast episode 24 scenes my Earth. Yeah, do that here. And let me also have a little rotation from my camera. I am targeting my camera to Earth and to the Earth, and then I am moving my camera around so that, you know, to know if I am seeing it, you know, all the time. Let me create a null and save it as camera null. And this is going to be here in the center. I am parenting the camera into that. Now the camera is a child to my camera null, and all I have to do now is rotate the camera null so that the camera is going to be actually, if first of all I'm taking away the target because it's not needed, and you'll see why. And now all I have to do is rotate my null object, and the camera, see, will just be rotated as well here. So I am going to say, and Mr. Camera Null, no, wait a minute, Mr. Camera Null, I want you to be 360 at 30, at frame 30. Okay, so what did I do now? I have rotate, and I am pressing N for numeric input. I'm telling it 360, but I'm not keyframing just in my present frame, but I am telling it, okay, I want you to be at 360 degrees at frame 30. So if I go upwards, you know, if I go and see what the timeline looks like, what I'm going to be looking is that, you know, my camera is going to be actually watching round the clock to Earth. So let's see if that, yeah, and this is actually what is this about, what we did. Okay, so let's see now if we did our transition correctly. Nothing here, nothing here. Ah, what we forgot to do. We forgot to set the luminosity here, the luminosity and the day-night transition. And yeah, luminosity texture for Earth, and then negative here. And let's see if we did that. Ah, something's happening actually there here. Oh, yeah, it's these clouds now here. That's oh no, hold on. I'm moving the camera inside. Now, the good thing with the null object is that when I move my camera here, let's say, I only have to do it on texture on keyframe 0. So the rest of the, you know, my null object's animation is not ruined, for example. So now starts my, you know, the dark side of the earth. Nothing here. Now here's something that, yep. Here's something. Let me hide the clouds, the earth clouds also. And there, hide them. I don't want them. There, I think this is North America here. And yeah. So, but it's still too dark. So if I come here and do a daylight transition 24, let me do a 200. Perhaps that will. Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, no, no. Aha! Now I see it here. This may be the case that my transition has not fallen where I wanted to be. Okay, so now I have to think about that a bit. And let's see here. We can perhaps push it towards the, let's say, wait a minute, towards the x-axis. Nah, anyway, it needs, you need to experiment, put some pointers actually, and then decide where is your texture, what are the coordinates of the sphere. And you can also, perhaps I will be able to do that during the week and animate the transition so that it will follow when you animate the earth, so that the dark side is going to always be luminous with night light and you know, and fade out to the bright side during the during daytime. For example, let me go back to Brilliance. Let me see if that can handle it. Load. Daylight transition. So I have it here. And let me first correct. Let me first here. There. Let me take a brush and do something like this. There. Okay. And save that. Wait. Images, reload the image because it's the same file. See if that is better. Now I have it during the bright side, I think. No, wait. Wait a minute. Let's keep that to 0 and see what is going on. Nothing here. Let me let me now change these guys there, and this guy here as well, luminosity, and see if we made any progress. Yeah, I see some lights here. I see some lights here. Yep. And but they also fall into the, you know. Ah, yeah, I almost did it. So you can see Europe here, you know, Europe and Africa, they are in during nighttime, and then you see when the light is changing. Almost, I almost got it there. So if I go here, perhaps. Yeah. So the only thing here is that the only objection is that this is the bright side. So you see the specularity of the sun, you know. But this all, you know, it's a matter of tuning your texture, you know, in what is the side, at which longitude I'm going to be starting my texture and ending that. So let me save that for you guys, and yeah, and ask you, are there any questions so far, or yeah, before we finish the episode? And there's also, this is my newest student, my lovely daughter. This is Ellie. Hey Ellie, say hey. So yeah, she, you know, in a couple of years is going to be playing some Amiga, and perhaps in 5 years more, perhaps it's going to be ray tracing a bit. Anyway, so that was it for today. I'll try for you, for the patrons, to make some animation of the transition as well. So you are going to be having a real Google Earth experience of, you know, doing the doing your Earth in Lightwave. Okay. Hey. Hey. Hello. Anyway, thank you guys. See you next week. If you have any L3D, yes. If you guys have any questions, feel free to mail me, or message me in the forum, and I'll try to make a very nice Earth day-night transition for you. So that was about planets. Maybe next time, if I have if we have the time before we go into start building some buildings and so on, to make some gas giants, you know, with rings and everything. Yeah. So far that's it for today. Let me save that, and let me save everything here, and let me get the end credits ready. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you very much. I hope that wasn't too boring as a subject. So until next time, see you. Keep on ray tracing and stay healthy. Bye bye.